Hello, I'm Bruce Cullen, Director of Product Management and Community here at WorkspaceDNA, and in this short video I'm going to tell you a bit about what's new in ATP360 with our latest and greatest 2.0 release. It's a big deal. So we're going to start on the home screen, which is all brand new. It gives you a good sort of high-level overview dashboard, so you can see what's going on with your tests. So they're sliced and diced in various different ways. You've got your pass-fails stats here, how many tests are awaiting review here. Of course, everything you see you can drill down into, so if you want to get on with reviewing those tests, you can do that from here. Test failures by type is an interesting one because not all test failures are sort of equal. So we now have the ability to slice and dice the errors in different ways as well. So if you want to understand what step limit reached means and which tests were affected, you can see the test, you can see the error, and all that information was previously invisible, as well as which OS was executing your tests, good for sort of OS coverage, and how you've gotten on with overriding test results where they have been incorrect. So that's a home screen dashboard, all new and very cool. It's also worth saying the tests themselves are about 75% cheaper to run now, and that's due to some significant work on the CUA workers themselves, and we've done a whole bunch to optimize the workers themselves. So we brought in sort of version management. The packages themselves are now MSIX packages, and they're signed, so they're secure by design. From a connectivity perspective, the worker will initiate a connection with the server-side components outbound, so completely secure from that perspective. There have been a whole bunch of changes around making it less secure, so that if the resolution of the worker changes or network changes, they are handled and tests continue to work. The CUA Workers UI, which is what we're looking at right now, is cleaner and means it's easier to kind of manage your CUA workers when you build a large list. You can see the health state, the OS type, whether it's a physical or virtual machine. We've got knowledge in here now as to which machines are Azure VMs and which are Windows 365 Cloud PCs, and there's more functionality in this area coming. We've got awareness of the OS type and the agent version as well. To allow you to keep tighter control on costs and to optimize the performance of ATP360, we have a new limits and controls tab where you can control certain behaviors of the tests themselves. From a cost perspective, you can limit the maximum cost per test run. This is great for runaway tests potentially. These settings control things like how many times ATP should attempt some steps if it thinks it's in a loop, for example, or how many times, if there are errors, that a session is allowed to restart to attempt to recover before it declares it a failure, how many turns per test run and per test step as well, which prevents those cases where CUA can't figure out what to do, so it just clicks around the UI from existing and from you running too complicated tests. These settings are all exposed now. We hope you won't need to tweak these from the default, but at least if you now do, they're fully explained and are fully customizable. So I'm going to run a test now. I'm going to run this one and on this worker. The test itself is not new. I want to show you, now we have agent awareness in here, how we prevent you from running tests on agent versions that are not compatible or might not be up to date with the latest features, as is in the case with this one. So you get an error like this rather than a degraded experience, which is very important for getting the best out of ATP360. I'll pause the video and update this worker and show you some more things when the test is running. So my test is now running, or about to start running, rather, on my worker, and you'll notice a few changes to the UI here. So firstly, we have the success-fail criteria exposed in the left-hand side. It's collapsed by default here at the bottom. When it's expanded, we can resize it so we can see as much or as little of the stuff at the top as we want. We can also, for the first time, resize the steps and the action log. Now, this is useful because sometimes the action log messages get quite long and you want to be able to read them all, and other times you don't want to see them, you want to have a look at the screenshot. So it's important to be able to actually move these out of the way to be able to see the screenshot, or better still, to make this full screen like this. You can see exactly what's going on. This is true both when you're running a test live, but also when you're looking at a test that has run in the past, so you can see what's going on in greater detail. The other thing you'll see is at the top of the test steps pane up here, you can see how many test steps have passed, are still to be run, or have failed at the top, so you've got a high-level indication as to what's happening. The actions themselves are now tied to a specific step, so you can see what AI is currently executing. And when a test step passes, as this first step did here, you will see that they're ticked off now rather than it being a sort of static list. So you can see its progress through the tests that are running live. One other thing I want to show you that just happened on that live test that was running, if I find the right point here, we zoomed in effectively to the screenshots so CUA could take a closer look at the text to figure out whether something has passed or failed. Now, this is how we've enabled a greater resolution without losing sort of efficacy with this zoom capability, and that's it in action. The other thing that's changed in this live view is sometimes we get large error messages or action log messages even, like this one here. They're now nicely formatted so you can read them properly. Like this one would have been hard to read before because it wasn't formatted correctly, and of course it would have been too small. So these are all great changes in ATP360. We hope you agree that this is a significant step forward and continues to help make ATP360 your agentic application owner. If you have any questions or any comments or any feedback at all on ATP360, I'd absolutely love to hear it. I'm at bruce.cullen@workspacedna.com. Thanks for watching.